Oh, shoot, I should probably put music. Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. We're nearing the end of March. However, not there yet. Spring has just started, and unfortunately for me, this is going to be a solo night. Um, Ruten's not feeling too well, so we're just gonna play it by ear. Well, play it by ear. I'm going to be playing a solo day, which is kind of good timing because there's a couple scenarios that were skipped because of their perceived imbalance. And this is one such scenario. Uh, hopefully, hopefully we'll get to examine just why, or perhaps maybe see that we are too pessimistic on this one. Um, yeah. So we'll see where exactly this one lies. Also, I should point out, or I do want to point out that if anybody from the ASL Scenario Archive is watching these, hopefully there's some. I need to try and find a way to perhaps poke them. If anybody has a direct link to them, maybe I'll try just contacting them on their own website. But I tried to hold that to any like technical, well, different issues, I guess. Anyways, point is that this scenario is wrongfully portrayed in its stats, and it's very important for the stats to get fixed because, well, you'll see why. So this scenario is takes place in Norway, as you can most likely imagine from the title. It is a Schwerpunkt scenario, so I actually don't know when this one came out. Schwerpunkt 7. This is a 2001 scenario, so it's been a while. And unfortunately, it is probably one of the more imbalanced scenarios I've ever seen from Schwerpunkt. Granted, I haven't played a ton of them, but this one will probably be indicative of such imbalance. So I'm going to try and get through the explanation first of the scenario objectives, and then give you the reason why I think this is broken, and we'll try playing it. It'll be against myself, but I think that at least knowing some of the defenses, maybe that'll give me a leg up on trying to push through this. So, first things first, this is a 2-map scenario, map 10 and 5. I don't usually point that out, but I figure why not. The boards are cut in half, and there is a railway that essentially goes down the entire board, if you so wish to claim these as one board. The Germans have to set up 4 hexes from hex L1. This is very easy to achieve. You really want to just be around this one area, and that works perfectly for the Germans. They've got a lot of defensible terrain that they can put themselves in right away, but you also want to protect yourself from any real entry. So EC is moderate. No wind at start. Kindling is not applicable or not available. There's a couple of overlays here, so if I take off the counters, so X11. Wait. Oh, sorry. Building. So these 2 buildings are one overlay. Same thing with these 2 wooden building, or this multi-hex wooden building, and then the railroad on either board. So really gives a good defensive position already. The Germans have 2 wooden buildings that they can set up in, another 2 stone ones, and then lots of, technically they can also set up in, I forget what this, R1 on the other board. So they have plenty of options. All railroads are ground level. That's not really changing much. If there was an embankment, it would do a lot more for the Norwegians, but because of the turn limit, I suspect that's why it's ground level. All buildings are wooden, so technically these stone buildings are not stone. That doesn't really matter. Interesting to note that the buildings are not ground level or single story only. Just that they're wooden, or sorry, yeah, just that they're wooden. The Germans have a 10-2 leader, but he is wounded, so it is a 9-1. I believe this is to reflect a historical point here. I believe yeah, there's a lieutenant here who was severely wounded. You know, got some guys did his stuff, um, and the road in 5R1 does not exist. So presumably it's this road hex with the building in it. The road doesn't exist. Why? I don't think it matters. Whatever. Um, Germans have an ELR of 4, SAN of 4, which is pretty high. Now, they are defending, so it makes sense that they would have somewhat higher SAN. ELR 4 seems a little much, all things considered. Allies have a SAN of 3, ELR of 3. And importantly, the split on forces here between these two sides is 6.5 to 11. The Norwegians have 11 squads. Both sides have a number of support weapons, which is nice. Germans get some foxholes, and the Norwegians can enter off of any board edge. So you can pick one entire board edge if you want. You can pick 2, you can pick 3, you can pick 4, because it says enter on turn 1, north, south, and or east board edge. All right, well, I'm a dork, and I didn't read, so I have to slightly modify this, which is not really the end of the world, thankfully. These guys can go there. Cool. Which kind of makes everything... It doesn't really change the strategy of the Germans at all. And it doesn't really make the Norwegians give them an easier time at doing anything. So, why this is all said and done here. So, this map, again, revolves around L1 and its surroundings. So, the Norwegians win if there are no unbroken German MMC in or adjacent to a road or railroad hex, 4 or less hexes from 10L1 at game end. So to give an idea as to what the Norwegians have to protect or prevent the Germans from being in, we'll just call it VC, and we'll hopefully put it under. Cool. So they have to protect everything from P1, 2, 3, 4 to 05 to, like, because you have to add a hex, right? Because it's in or adjacent to a road or railroad hex, 4 hexes. So technically the objective can go out to 5. I can't change the distance, unfortunately, and I have to grab a 5, but whatever. Point is that the Germans can be anywhere in this perimeter and not suffer any issue. They're going to, you just win if you have an unbroken unit. It's also very important to note unbroken. So being in a melee would normally prevent the Germans from successfully winning on a defensive mission, because if they're not good order, you would lose. But the victory condition does not care for that, just unbroken. Why is this all important? Why am I prefacing this? Well, according to ROAR and ASL archive data, this scenario is a 42-9 ratio of wins and losses in favor of the Germans. So the Germans have won 42 times, and the Norwegians have only won 9. So, you know, kind of gives you an idea. It's not exactly a 5-1, but it's pretty crazy that it's close. So yeah, very important to note those issues. I believe that should be it. April. So the orchards are in effect. I don't know why. I don't. Maybe they're supposed to be plowed. ASL scenario archive shows those as being plowed. I'm not going through them anyways, so I don't have to worry about it. So let's get on with the show. Cool. We're gonna have gusts right away. Now, granted, there's no wind and there's no blaze, so it doesn't really matter. But still, I have nothing to do in the rally or prep phase, so I'm gonna go to movement. I'm gonna declare CX with a group of greens at the bottom. So they will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll see if I can get some stuff done there. This guy over on the side is going to also declare CX. He'll bypass for 1, bypass 2, uh, bypass 3, 5. And I don't think I would be able to see there whatsoever. I'm not bypassing on that side. I am bypassing on that side, but I think I have to see both. So I don't think I see him, so he'll be fine. Over up top, off board, 9-2 with the squad and MMG. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to lose concealment, so I'm not going to bother with anything else. And then my 2 groups here declare CX 1, 2, 3, bypass 4, 5, 6. And the next group with a leader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and then 8 with the path. Because I don't think you're locked to... I think you can take the path if you're at least in the full forest. So that is my moves for the turn 1. You can kind of get an idea, like the Germans are already pretty well stacked. I don't need to move anywhere. I don't need to do anything. The fact that I forgot that you can't set up on the west just means that, you know, these 2 guys get to reposition. Actually, 1 only needs to, so there's no consequence for a real bad setup outside of like something truly catastrophic. Advanced phase, we're going to split some units up, so I'm going to have these 2 guys in the back. You guys will get concealed, and we're going to re-CX everybody. So these guys will get placed as such. E2 will go to F1. Over here, we're going to split the group here. Actually, I should do these 2 guys there and these guys there. They will get concealed and they are CX'd. This stack, yeah, let's do yonder and yonder. And these guys will get into the building. Yeah, which they're allowed to do. Perfect. CC phase, there's none. We go to Germans, turn 1. Gusts, I believe, are still in effect, but will go away at the end of this turn, so I'm not going to bother anymore. Rally phase, there's nothing for the Germans to do. Prep fire phase is kind of interesting. I do have some options if I want to. I don't think I checked my mortar to see if I can see certain units. So I'm going to try anyways because it is a mortar and I'm not really penalized for taking some chances. And then I might take 1 extra shot here. So we'll do the mortar first. Why not? Mortar will shoot at building in G8. Again, I don't know if I can see it, and I do, which is really nice. 2 hit is not going to be effective, but I will get acquisition. Now, always important to point out, why does a mortar get acquisition when shooting at a concealed unit? It's because it's using area target type. If I'm wrong on that, someone please correct me. I feel like I checked that a couple times, and I've always come away with you get the acquisition for area target type. Because you're not technically shooting at concealed units, that's just a byproduct of also shooting there. So that's my mortar shot, no effect. And then I'm just going to run the risk anyways of Y2. I'm going to shoot the nearer one. Again, I wouldn't know which unit is what. It wouldn't strike me as too strange to send a stronger unit up first so that they could try to get in into Y3 and then out of it into melee or some shenanigans like that. So it will be a 4 flat. 6 on 4 is a normal morale check, so this concealment instantly goes away. We'll do a morale check on the leader, who's fine, and the squad halves. So great start for the Norwegians. ELRs, which means they are disrupted now. Where is my disrupted? They are now disrupted, and the leader is still CX'd. I did not get rate of fire, which, whatever. I did not trigger German sand with that, so no big deal. Like I said, that's more than enough. If I can kill the leader or do something afterwards, then I'll be golden. Um, that's it for prep fire, really. Movement phase, honestly, I'm just going to have M2 is going to assault move to L1, retain that concealment. We'll go to defensive fire. I'm going to risk this because I need to get some firepower out on this group now, since they've already busted one unit. So this is going to be 8 up 3. It's a 10. That's not going to be anything. I don't think G5 can see anybody, but G8 will be able to. So they will shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will shoot a 6 flat. 7 on 6 should be a normal. They're fine. I didn't get rate of fire, which isn't the end of the world, but yeah, could be the start of the problems, as mentioned before. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes, technically these disrupted guys can't normal route, so they can't choose to leave where they are, which means as a result I'm going to keep the leader where they are, just so that I still have to force multiple options here. There shouldn't be anything else. Advanced phase, I'm going to bring the guy from M1 into M2, and that will be the end of my options here. I guess technically I could move right there. Is there a reason to keep him out? No. You know what? That'll be fine. So I'm gonna have the guy in the foxhole go into the road. Nobody can see the road. I should at least check, but nobody should be able to see it, which means he can retain his concealment, and yeah, I'll get to save him from potentially an embarrassing death later on. We go to turn 2. Weather, no change. In the rally phase, there's only one rally to do. I didn't get it because of the +4. We go to prep fire phase. I still don't want to be shot at a whole bunch by a mortar, so I'm going to try the machine gun once more. Cool. I will break the machine gun, get no result out of that. This guy still has to rally, so I'm going to try... Ooh, okay. So, how is that going to work? I'm going to label that stack there as opportunity fire. Why? Because I want to get the 8 firepower, but I don't want to suffer the extra +1. If I can just settle on a +2, that should be fine. And maybe the guys in Y2 will shoot at something else, so they won't target Y4, etc. That's probably the best option I have at the moment, which is not great. I don't have any other shots, so we'll go to movement phase. In the movement phase, I got to make a lot of tough decisions here. Why? Because I need to essentially cut off an area and try my best to deal some damage here. So, you know what? I might have to take an extra turn to set up here. So I'm going to send these guys here for 4. They can't get spotted, so they're not going to lose concealments. I'm going to have F1 join them. They will lose CX. Yeah, I think I need the extra turn 2, 4, and guy in G5 is gonna assault move to H4. I think this is the best thing I can do. I'm setting up for turn 3, a power grab on turn 3, and we'll see how things go. I only have a few options to shoot at here. I still want my mortar to shoot at the MMG group. There is a -1. Range would make that a 7 that I need. And thankfully the -1 will give me that. So that will be a hit. No rate. And that is a +2. It's on a 3? Is it 8 on 3? No way. That is nothing for sure. So this mortar has shots. I don't think anybody else really has any targets. So I'm not going to worry about anything here. I am going to take a shot with Y2 and shoot X4. It is an 8 flat, so it's a pin task check on both of them. One is pinned, the other is fine. I don't have rate of fire with the LMG. We'll go to advanced fire phase. This is now a 6 up 2. Nope. That's kind of a bummer. That'll be it for advancing. No more defensive. Go to routes. Nobody else needs to route. Advances. So in the advance phase, we're going to go ham here. Yeah, we're going to go kind of crazy here. You go there, you go there, you go there. Technically, you know what? Since they are, I'm going to move them to H8, and this will follow. But I'm going to move them to H8. If I can repair the machine gun, I'm going to have line of sight on a bunch more stuff. At least, oh, excuse me, at least L3 and L1. I don't think I can see anything else, but I'm not too concerned about that. Anything else here? This guy technically loses his CX, and do I bother moving anybody else? No. So we'll go to German turn 2. Weather, no change. Take off my moves here. Rally phase, there's just the one. Take off pins. Doesn't get it. Go to prep fire phase. So in the prep fire phase, mortar is going to attempt. They will get a hit. They do have rate. That won't be an effect. So second shot is a hit and rate. That is a 7 on 3 is a pin task check. So we'll do the pin task checks first. Leader, squad, everybody's fine. Sniper doesn't activate. Another shot, another rate. Well, excuse me, nothing. Another shot that is still a hit. Now that is a 5 on 3, which is a normal morale check. Okay, and they break. Oh, you know what? I should have tried to repair this. I didn't. Cool. Well, that solves a lot of problems for the Germans. Excuse me. Jesus. Okay. Prep fire phase. What else do I got here? This guy's done. I kind of just have a pick of the litter here of who do I want to kind of punish most. I think my options here are going to be use Y2 to shoot at the stack in X4 because they are not concealed, and that's just it's just an up 1. Actually, it's flat. It's a normal morale check, which is really bad. They're fine, and they break. So that happened. That is a problem. I'm gonna take this shot only because if I don't take it, it might be an issue. It's 2.5 up 1, which is nothing. The stack in L3 now doesn't have to worry about the 9-2 leader technically, and they don't have to worry about an MMG. So I'm gonna use their firepower to hit the middle stack. Do I want to stack anybody else with them? No, because I want the benefit of the minus. So this is going to be a 5 flat. Okay. I don't have rate of fire on the machine gun, but that is a 4 on 5. Yes. Because it is flat. So 4 on 5 is a 2 morale check. These guys will instantly lose their stuff. Morale check, he's fine. That turns into a 1 morale check, which unfortunately will break him. Like I said, I don't have rate of fire, which is, I mean, at this point, it's not really the worst. Yeah, you know what? I can only really get shot by oh so much, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to have M3, M2, and L1 all shoot at I2. It's kind of the only target they can all shoot at in conjunction, so we'll make the most of it here. I've got 10 firepower from these two squads plus 8. Divide by 2, so 9 firepower up 1. I am rocking and rolling here. It's a 5 on 9, 2 morale check. Break and pin. I have rate of fire on the machine gun, or the LMG, so I will shoot the LMG up 1. That is a 4 on 3, which is a 1 morale check. So we'll do, yeah, broken guy first. He'll reduce and break. God damn. Okay. Hopefully people can start to see why this scenario might be a little bit broken. I don't have rate of fire a second time, which is completely fine. We'll go to movement phase. Everybody shot. There's no movement phase. Defensive fire. In the defensive fire phase, I'm going to try and get at least something out of here. So I'm going to have the 4-3-7 shoot a 4 up 2. 7 on 4 is a pin tash check. So leader first, he's fine. Squad is fine. So this guy has shot. And then I'm going to reveal these two squads in Z0. They're going to shoot in order to encircle. That's an 8 up 2. Doesn't do anything, but they are encircled. Which, you know, not the best, or not the worst thing in the world. It does decrease their morale by 1, which is nice. But I kind of need a little bit more here. I don't really have anything else to shoot with. I'm going to take my chances. I4 is going to shoot a 6 up 2 against the guys in the building. And that didn't work out. I have one concealed guy, and I'm probably just not going to risk it. Not that it matters. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. So, 4 up 2. No. Cool. And that's... this is basically just one giant problem for the Norwegians here. The Germans are perfectly well placed. I can just leave this hex without any real issue. Yeah. Well, okay, so these guys wrote back. So does the other squad with the broken LMG and the leader. So they'll all be there. You know what? I don't want to keep getting shot at by... where's my option here? Am I teching getting closer? No. So I'm going to route to here, to F7. I think that's legal. I could route, but I think if I route, I'm going to get interdicted. Maybe not. You know what? I don't think I would. So I could... I think I can technically route to V3. Is there a reason to do that? Actually, yeah, if I route to W5, I'll get interdicted. So I have to route to V3. I think that's the only, like, sensible option I have. Advances. Man, advances is a really good question right now. I'll go one closer, and these two will get in the building. Seems to make the most sense to me. And yeah, I'm just gonna abandon this. Oops. God dang it. There. I'm just gonna abandon this building. I believe that will force them to CX. So yeah, I'll just do that. CC, none. Norwegian turn 3. No weather change. Rally phase. Rally phase, well, there's a bunch of them. So, I'll try... Actually, I'll try the self-rally first. Cool. What do we got here? So they were broken and inexperienced. So the 7 turns into a 9. They are allied miners, so they are berserk. Let's see what else I got here. So, okay, so they will battle harden because they have no enemy units in LOS. Then we'll try this rally. It's +4 to a 9. -3 for that. So that guy comes back. Over here, got 3 of them. Wow, super low rolls. Unfortunately, 5 to a 9, I can only get -2, so the first guy does not. The second guy goes from 3 to 7, -2. He'll come back. And the other one, same idea. Goes up to 9, goes down 2 to 7. So I get a half squad back. Which, I mean, best I can really do here. Prep fire phase. Oh, also, I forgot this guy. He comes back. I've been very, very lucky on my rally rolls. Not so much on my weapons. I think this guy would have seen him through there. That's about it. Okay, so, prep fire phase. Prep fire phase doesn't really fill me with a lot of hope here. I'm going to try a 12 up 2 shot. God damn it. Okay. I don't really have any other shots. I mean, 4 up 2. No. Trying here. Because I can't bum rush that building. And I don't want to hide from it because that would just be silly. Movement phase, we're going to get green guy here, go 1-3. And then these 2 will go 1-3. And then this squad will pay 4. And that'll be it. Defensive fire phase. Actually, these guys came back. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Defensive fire phase. In the defensive fire phase. Mortar. Guy in I-4. No. Pretty sure no. MMG and squad. Same target. It is a flat, so 10 on 10. Tash check. He is pinned, which kind of sucks. Not really a terrible result, but would have hoped for something else. Squad and squad with the LMG will shoot at the guy in H1. So that's a 13 up 1. They cower to an 8. But that's still 5 on 8 for a 2 morale check. He is ELR'd and broken. And then the devastating stack in X1 is going to shoot at Z0. That is a 13 up 1. 7 on 13 is 1 morale check. Oops. They both break by 1. Advanced fire phase. None. Routes. These guys will route there. You can route there. Actually, technically I can route them all. 6. Shoot. Can I see this guy? Yes. That is range 5. I'm still good. Cool. So those guys can route there. That's it for routes, really. Advances. Yeah, he's going to stay there. You'll go into V2. Half squad will go there. Try and maybe get some fire group going. This 457 is going to go there, and leader's going to try and revive everybody. CC phase, none. We go to German turn 3. Weather, no change. Rally phase, none for the Germans. Plenty for the Norwegians. So we'll do H2 first. So 1, 2. 7, that'll come back. They both come back. 9-2 over here. 1, 2, 3. The first does not. The second does not. The third does. So I got one squad back. Take off pins. Forgot that. And LMG? No. Cool. That's it for that. Mortar. It is a hit and rate of fire. Because of 3. IFT is nothing. This gets modified. Second shot, hit, rate of fire, 7. That is a CTC or pin test check, so that guy's pinned. I will take another shot. Hit, rate, nothing. Hit, rate, nothing. Hit, rate, nothing. Nothing. No rate. Okay. I don't care for the half squad, so I'll shoot, is it 10 flat? So 8 on 10 should be a normal morale check. He's double pinned, so whatever. Pretty sure I did not get rate again. What else? I mean, I'll do 18 up 1 against the half squad. 8 on 18 is a 2 morale check, I believe. Alright, well, never mind. The second 12 of the day comes out, or third 12 of the day comes out. I seem to only get 12s on the Norwegians for now. We'll go to movement, because I don't have any other shots. This CX goes away. I'll just put this guy at the bottom of the pile. He's already shot. No further actions. Defensive fire phase. 2 up 2. Trying to live a dream here. Advanced firing phase, no. Routes, none, because they're all dead. Advances, I'm going to have the squad without the LMG go to X0, and that is it, really. CC, none. We go to turn 4 Norwegians. Making great time here. 10 minutes a turn or whatever. That's pretty great. Weather, no change. Rally phase, kind of quite a bunch here. I've got 2 to try. I get both of them. I will try to fix the LMG, which doesn't happen. And prep fire. 4 up 2. Damn it. I don't really have any other option with that guy, so I have to try something. No other prep fire. Movement phase. In the movement phase. So here's the only place I can really try and break stuff here. So I'm going to have V1 assault move to V0. I will have 2 squads shoot at him for a 15 up 1. 9 on 15 is a normal. He breaks. That was 15, so 6 residual. Half squad will... oh, I can't do that because of the greens suck. Why? Okay. 2, 4, 5, not in foxhole. These guys will subsequent. So it's a 10 down 2. Shit. 5 on 10. 2 morale check. Nope. Nope. And nope. And he disrupts. He disrupts. He's broken. Shoot. Honestly, I kind of feel like I needed to make that attempt. I needed to start getting into the buildings and killing people in CC or something. I don't have the forces to... I don't have the time to set up and break them regularly, which is the problem. 457 is going to spend 4 to get into I3 overall. I will not shoot at him just yet, because I know what makes sense and what doesn't. Alright, I'm going to Hail Mary this, because... So, here's the problem. I have 2 more turns of movements in order to kill all of the Germans. or break all of the Germans. And the shittiest thing possible, that's the thing that sucks the most, is that with these guys broken, I can now technically run any squad, any MMC, run them over to this corner, and that's it. That's game. So I have to try this. It's not me just willy-nilly throwing units away, even though it appears like it. I'm going to go into the path for one. I'm going to have these two squads plus LMG shoot. So that is, should be flat, -1 + 1, and then it's on 13. So 10 on 13 is a pintash check. So pintash check, pintash check, pintash check. So the bottom guy is pinned, and there is 6 residual. The leader and squad with the LMG will continue into J1, because honestly, that's like the only one that really makes a lot of sense to me. I will subsequent, so doubled halved, it's another 13 down 2. 6 on 13 is a 2 morale check. The leader breaks, and so does the squad, and that's kind of game right there. These guys are finaled. The most I can do at this point is I can do 2, 4, 5. Have the guys in X1 shoot as an 8 down 3. Shit. 2 on 8 is a 1 KIA. Random selection. Leader, squad, squad, squad. You. So the leader and a squad are annihilated. This will break everybody in the stack. And then because the leader died, they have to take a morale check. A 2 morale check because of the modifier. So 2 morale check, 2 morale check. So they both are reduced. And that's just game right there. There's not much else I can really do about that. You know, we can go to defensive. I will take my mortar and continue shooting at I4. That is a hit, no rate, nothing. MMG and squad will shoot at the guy without the machine gun. So it's a 10 flat. 7 on 10. 1 morale check. Yep. Break. I have not gotten rate of fire on my MMG, but you can kind of see how it does not matter. Advanced fire phase. I forget if disrupted is also at the end of any phase. I'd have to check, but I feel like it's at the start of route. Yeah, like this guy's pinned. I can do a 1-up-1 against the guy with the LMG. Nope. And yeah, there wasn't anything. I guess like I forget if I shot. I probably shot with him. Routes. So these two guys are become prisoner. The leader gets to route away, so he'll go to U2. You'll go there. You can route back. Yeah, you can route back 2, 4, 6. Yeah, y'all can route back for 6. These are 2 half squads, so you can route there as well and not suffer any penalty. Advances, none. And then CC phase, none. And this is basically just a throw in the towel moment here. Pins will come off. I don't need to do anything at all as the Germans anymore. But if I wanted to do some crazy stuff here, so we'll do... I don't have anything to rally as the Germans, so we'll rally as the Norwegians. This leader dies, which I don't remember if a broken unit takes it. I'm going to say no. DM comes off. Over here, self-rally is not successful. That happens. Prep fire phase, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not? 23 up 1. 12 on 23 is still a Pintash check, which they pass. The one good thing so far that's happened. Mortar. Hit, rate, no effect. Hit, no rate. Very much effect. 3 on 3, 2 morale check. He's broken. Did I repair? Did I roll? Doesn't matter. Hopefully, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then machine gun with the leader, so 10 up, 10 flat. 10 on 10 Pintash check. He's fine. Still no rate on that machine gun, but again, doesn't matter. So yeah, I could, you know, if I was being really cheesy, I would chase these guys down. Because it doesn't matter if I lose anybody at this point. I could do CX 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 advance, and then they don't get to run, and they're all CX the next, or DM'd, I should say, the next time. And I can also just do 1 or 2, 4. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. He's DM'd. But honestly, the most important part is that they can't run away. Can't do anything. So, advanced phase, again, I don't have anything I need to do. This guy's technically got 2 prisoners or whatever. This guy would have to route, so we'll overstack, because why not? This guy would have to go somewhere. You can't go into... yeah, his only option technically is U1. Then he sees these guys and he stops in place. So we go to CC, and then again, can you kill all of the Germans, literally all of them, in 2 turns? No. I mean, I don't have any units really in the first place. Self-rally on this guy? Nope. Technically self-rally over here. Also, yes. Because that guy did not have DM. So he comes back. Rally, rally, rally. Rally, rally. So, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So, the 8-1 comes back. Then, this guy does not. He does. He does not. He does. And this guy definitely does not. So, again, I have a squad and a half I got back, plus I have 2.5 squads that are functional versus 8 German squads, plus the half squad and all the weapons. So, probably not going to happen, and I think it's probably a good time, or a good spot to call it here. Yeah, kind of just, again, very unfortunate. I don't think this scenario is very balanced. It's, again, shocking that the roar data constantly gets it wrong in ASL Scenario Archive. There's clearly something imported wrong, and it swaps the 2 sides. So if you were to look at this right now, as of 8 o'clock, 22 March 2025, you would see the Norwegians as having a huge advantage on this scenario, and that is very much not the case. There's just there's no way of excusing this scenario. I'm glad I didn't play it with anybody and we called it correctly. This is not a good scenario, and one that I think should be skipped completely. The only way to fix this scenario, or only ways to fix this scenario. I'm not a genius. I don't think I have all the cards here, but I do think there are a couple things that could be done to change this. First and foremost, I think that these boards should be shortened. Come in on U6, like the 6 or even the 5 line on the bottom. Same thing up top. You could probably cut this by 2 or 3 hexes at the very least. Just to make movement, that much easier. If you don't want cut boards that way, I totally get it. Cropping them is kind of a pain, and most of the time that stuff doesn't really happen. I do think that there are better boards there's got to be better boards out there. Maybe not at the time this was printed, so that's fair. You know, this is 2001 after all. There's not a lot. There's not as many modules. There's not as many maps out. So maybe this is the only thing they could see fit. Whatever. I think that you need to change the mission, the victory condition. Change it to good order, unbroken good order, even just good order German MMCs. Make it so that it's buildings only and not adjacent to a road or railroad hex, because that is insane amount of ground to cover. Possibly make it just these two buildings. So L3, L1, and M2. It's probably the only buildings I think that really matter. This is a cool thing to add as an overlay, but I don't think that its inclusion... like, you can have its inclusion, but I think that these two buildings should be the important ones, because you can at least pass it off as this is the train station, and you know, those two buildings are like the registry or the train station, and this is like the ticket center or whatever. Make it make sense. There's ways to make it more palatable, and that the objective makes more sense. Again, make it so that it's unbroken good order in those buildings rather than anything else. Secondly, make it so that it's ground floor buildings. I didn't have to worry about ground level at all. But, you know, I would probably force buildings to be ground level, so you can't just, like, make a giant doom stack without any, like, major repercussions to doom stacking. The Germans don't need anything else. You could probably, if you're not going to mess with force composition at all, I'd say drop at least one squad to 5. Because the, 11 for the Norwegians doesn't double the Germans, and the Germans have that lovely 5 firepower, which really makes a difference when you're using the IIFT, or at least, you know, you're not losing anything on the IIFT type stuff. Mortar, it's not really the end of the world whether they have it or not. Excuse me. I do think as well that the Norwegians should have some form of smoke. If for some reason they can't get artillery to grant them smoke only, I think that would be really cool, because you don't normally see a smoke only OBA, first and foremost. Secondly, you know, using that OBA would at least provide some form of advance while costing the Norwegians movement, because again, +1 for smoke. You can assault move and advance, sure, but that really cuts down on time. You still need to kill German units. You still need to disrupt German units or break them, however you want to look at it, in those strong points. And the German can, at least in some fashion, set up outside of those areas, so that if you smoke it immediately at the start of the game, it doesn't necessarily smoke out everybody. I think the only thing that would be, you know, worrisome is an L2 smoke strike, where it, you know, kind of blankets a lot more. I can kind of see how that might be the case, or be something to be wary about. But outside of that, yeah, I definitely think that there needs to be modifications, heavy modifications to this scenario. Whether it's give them an 80mm mortar that only shoots smoke. If it's trying to hold on desperately to the idea of the Germans don't have a lot of troops and the Norwegians are trying to push at them, then, you know, give the Norwegians more troops. That's the only way around it. You know, take the foxholes away from the Germans. I don't think they care for 4 foxholes. Maybe give them 1 or 2. I don't think they need 4. And yeah, the victory conditions need to be overhauled, because that is way, way too complicated for the amount of troops that the Norwegians have. And yeah, like, the current options here for anybody who's ever curious, balance for the Norwegians is change the MMG for an LMG, Sure, fine. I don't think that's really decisive in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I guess it's 5 versus 3, sure. And you do lose one rate of fire, but that's not really the end of the world. And the German balance is to exchange the Norwegian 8-1 for 7-0, which fine, I guess. But I think this scenario needed a lot more time in the oven before they come out and say, hey, we got something that works, because this is a scenario that doesn't, unless the Germans are unlucky. So if you know an unlucky player, if you know someone who absolutely can never get any of his dice right, kind of like myself, have them play as the Germans and see if they can win. I think this is an easy victory for them. Use this as a teaching scenario. That's my advice for today, to not have to waste or throw away this scenario. Use this as a training scenario for the defender, because at the very least, the positives of this scenario are that the attacker can come in from anywhere, so the defender has to, in a limited area, be able to set up in ways that prevents that movement. For example, I could have potentially set up a unit in V3, kind of locks out this bottom left area. If you set up in the building like I did, you lock out bottom right, kind of middle right as well. Setting up in here, obviously, lock out at least the top left, top middle. And it gets you to question stuff like, okay, I have an MMG. Should I do something like a fire lane? Right? Is a fire lane worth it? Maybe not. But at least it gets you to think about that stuff. Technically, the MMG, I could have bore sighted. There is nothing that says I can't bore sight. That seems insane to bore sight as well. So that's probably something I would make it as a not applicable. Because you could just bore sight like G8 and not have to ever worry about anything. And yeah, like, I think the only reason why you can't kindle is because since the Germans start in this big forest, or can start in the big forest, same thing with over in the V1 area, you could potentially kindle one of those two hexes or areas, and then the Norwegians can't pass it and have so much to deal with. And it just makes their movement worse. Understandable, but that's, I think, I think that's the only thing really that it has any sort of serious impact on. So, yeah, like I said, I think this is, if anything, if you don't want to completely see this scenario as terrible and unrecoverable, what's the word I'm looking for here? If you want to at least make some use out of it, find someone who's new to ASL, who's learning and wants to have something that is highly in favor of the Germans, and have them play as the Germans. Have them defend, see how they feel about overlapping fields of fire, how positions should protect each other, what's safe movement versus not safe movement. Like, you can do those sorts of things as the defender here, because line of sight is poor from the Norwegian point of view, and not the other way around. And even having, like I did over in X1, having a unit that's not in view, but locks out some movement, like through Z4, or through this road, when these guys are busy, or if they break, you can get them to retreat into another building, which is perfect, and the guys who are already in X1 can act as spoilers if they shoot into H1 or H0, Z0, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's probably my recommendation for this one. Otherwise, thumbs way down. This is, a 2 or 3 at best, and 3 is being very generous. So that'll be it for today. Should have a game on Monday with Rob. We should be playing, oh god, what is this scenario? Speaking of the ASL Scenario Archive, they came out with or so the guys, I'm pretty sure it's two, the two of them. I'm not sure how much impact one of them has on this. So they run illuminating rounds. If you go to ASL Scenario Archive, you'll see they have a on the front page. Essentially, they have a link to their YouTube channel, and you can watch all of their videos. It's kind of what I do similarly, although they do face cams, and I'm saving myself for the perfect person, aka Rootin. He gets to see my beautiful face. But jokes aside, they have a Patreon. I should probably put them as a link if I don't already at some point. So yeah, they have a Patreon. This isn't necessarily a call to go purchase their Patreon, but I will say that the next scenario does come from a pack. I believe it's their training pack or something. And it is a scenario called... I gotta look this up again because this is it's kind of a crazy name. Cry God for Harry, England, and St. George. Again, this comes from the Eliminating Rounds 2020 published scenario pack. There are 5 scenarios. Cry God for Harry, England, and St. George, I believe, is a playtest scenario. So we'll play that one, see how it is. Yeah, so Martin Baker and Dave Ramsey, that's what it is. I know I've messaged Dave Ramsey on the Scenario Archive to fix some stuff, and I'm not 100% sure as to what Martin Barker, I think I said Barker, does. Probably just participate. I don't know. I don't want to speak to what he does. I know he helps with Dave and is part of Illuminating Rounds. So, yeah, if anything, that's my plug. Go watch them. They have a great site. Please support the site. If you want to throw money at them on Patreon, hey, that's your decision. Maybe someday I'll start my own Ko-fi or Patreon and lazily never bug people for money myself. Hope you enjoy it, and I will see you Monday, and have a lovely weekend. Bye!